Hello, my friends. Welcome back to Surviving Out of Spite. If you're just tuning in, my name is Smith Sauer. I am the CEO here at G-PACT. And for those that know me, have been on the channel for a while, hi, hello, how are you? I miss you. Um, I have an announcement that I wanted to chat with you guys. It's a little bit more of like just update announcement, but we're going to try something really cool for the month of June. And for those of you that know what's been going on, maybe follow the podcast or follow our socials, you know that like we have been incredibly busy for the last month. I myself have been all over the place. I don't know which end is up, what's left, what's right. I got nothing anymore. And I'm freaking tired. I am freaking tired. And in being off of my routine and being outside of just my normal, my digestion is way off from like what it normally is. My sleep is off. My head like I am just a chaotic and messy, which is kind of normal, but like worse than normal, right? So I got talking with some members of the community, my husband, because he's my sounding board for everything, and our team, and was like, we all need some sort of like reset, some sort of challenge, if you will. So, coming off of a very, very chaotic month, I wanted to do something for myself, for the community members, and frankly, anybody. Like, this isn't just for gastroparesis people, this is for anybody with a chronic illness or not, just to kind of like chill out a little bit. I say that because I tell myself that, we tend to get so busy in the hustle and bustle and whether that hustle and bustle for you is just survival mode or maybe you're like me and May has been crazy, maybe there's travel, maybe you have kids, there's graduation, end of school. I know I have some mom friends that are like, I don't even know where I am anymore. There's a lot going on. So I put together a Calm the Chaos challenge for the month of June. The PDF with all information on like what we're doing, I'll link it in the description of the video here, but I wanted to talk to you guys about it. Hopefully I can keep it short and sweet, but it's me, I talk a lot. So, one of the things that has really been helping me, especially because I've been under a lot of stress, my anxiety has been through the roof. And, besides going to the doctor, doing therapy, doing all the things, I'm like, I need to do some other supportive measures to really help put myself in an environment that is healthier for me mentally. So we talk about it all the time. I talk about it all the time, and I get questions about it all the time. Not just saying that, literally, we get questions about this all the time. So I have been using a vagus nerve stimulator device. I've been using it. Sorry, I'm trying to grab it over here. For almost a year now, actually, maybe about a year. We have partnered with Zenowell. I know we've had different collaborations with them and webinars and lots of different information with them in the last year about their vagus nerve stimulator, and it's really been helping me. I keep one in my office. I have two, so I keep one in my office, which is the one I just grabbed, um, and I use it to travel with me as well because some days it's just really, really like the normal things that I would do don't always feel like enough. So I have been using this in tandem with like nausea meds for when I feel nauseous. It's been helpful with migraines. It's been helpful with sleep and just kind of helping center me, right? And so I have this one in my office. Again, I'll put links to stuff if you guys are interested. Their website can explain it better than I can. I can just tell you about my experience with it. Um, but this is the one that I keep in my office. And I've got the left earbud piece here. And I've talked about it a little bit around like some anxiety issues that I've been dealing with. my husband and I went on a trip a couple months ago, and we went in a tunnel, and I've never been claustrophobic. I've never had issues with a tunnel, but for some reason this one was just like long and too dark, and I did not fare well. And I was not expecting that because that's not something I've ever dealt with before. Immediately as we were like getting toward the end, I was not functioning well. Threw this on, did some relaxing techniques, worked on my breathing, and just tried to calm myself down. And it really helped me through and after that moment. Um, Recently, I took a train ride down to the city actually to go see the co founders of Centerwell. And I forgot how nauseous the train can make you with all the, wiggles back and forth as you're going around. I'm like, cool. So I had to take some meds. That wasn't enough. Threw that in my ear and just did the same thing of trying to work on some breathing, let it do its thing. And it really started to help me. And I noticed that with that consistency, and really trying to focus not just on like, I use this and it fixed all my things. That's not what I'm saying here. I'm saying that using something in tandem to help get my body to a place of center, a place of a little bit more relaxation, a place of a little bit calmer, I start to feel better. We hear the whole rest and digest thing all the time. And, when people are we joke about it here. It's like the "have you tried yoga" situation, like but seriously, there are digestive yoga techniques and breathing techniques out of yoga practice that can be really helpful. It's the unhelpful comments that we do not welcome, but the helpful comments and different yoga, which we will be talking about in part of our June challenge, is really helpful when you use them as supportive measures in your daily life. And that's really what I wanted to focus on because it's easy to like relatively easy to take your meds, right? You don't feel good, you're feeling nauseous, you take a Zofran, maybe you aren't sleeping really well, so you take something to help you sleep. And there's nothing wrong with any of those things. You have a headache, you take something for a headache, you don't feel good, you take something for it. There's nothing wrong with any of those things. Those are still supportive measures. But what we're going to talk about are the things that we often forget about, which can be maybe turning our phone off, a certain amount of time before bed. I am super guilty of that. Maybe not watching TV or any devices before bed. Maybe it's reminding ourselves to journal, to work on some affirmations, some our gratitude, or tracking our symptoms or tracking, what went well for the day. I am super guilty of not getting outside. I see the sun moved a little bit in my window here. Like, there are days that I don't go outside because I'm sitting here at my desk or doing something in the house, and I don't leave my house, not even to go get my mail from my mailbox at the end of the road. And that's not healthy. You need fresh air. You need sunshine if you're lucky enough to have sunshine. It's been a little cloudy in my area lately. Um, some movement, things like that. And when you get so tired, and this is where I've been stuck, is like I'm so tired that the energy that I do have has just been going to survival mode. That's it. It's not going to anything else. I don't have any extra spoons to exercise right now. I don't have extra spoons to like do the hobbies and the things that I love to do. And that's really sad because those things make me happy too. And they actually make me feel better. So, like, what do you do in this situation, right? You're too tired to do the thing, but you can't do the thing to help you not be so tired to do the thing. You see where I'm going with that? And that's where my problem has been. And for most of us who are here with gastroparesis or digestive issues, maybe you're not eating enough like me. And you're like, that also goes to my energy, Sam, and I'm not eating, so I don't have energy, Sam. I can't do that, Sam. Listen, I have that conversation with myself too, which is why we're doing this. And I am committing to the 30 days with everybody. Hopefully, you can commit to that too. That said, this is not meant to be something like added burdensome to your life. I tried to think about myself and my own life and all of the things that I have to do in a day, in a week, in a month, and I don't have the time or bandwidth to add like a bunch of new habits I don't. And that's how we fail when we do too much too soon. And I don't wanna put anybody in that position, right? Where you, like, try this new thing, you're, like, really into it, and then you realize that's unsustainable and you fail, and then you're like, "Well, I'm just a failure, so I'm not doing this anymore." No, that narrative is not here. This is like, "Hey, that didn't work for me. What did work for me? Okay, let's focus on what did work." And if A didn't work for you, maybe don't do A anymore. Maybe try B, C, D, add one thing. Pick one thing and just add it to your weekly rituals, to your nightly rituals, to your daily rituals, whatever. If you have the ability to add two things, just this is, like I said, it's meant to help you. We're adding the support systems to your daily life to help you feel better and hopefully get you into a place where you're just doing these things to take care of yourself without having to think about it. That's the goal, right? Like we want to feel better and you know, we focus so much sometimes on the treatments and the medications and I'm guilty of it too. Sometimes I'm like I just want the magic pill, dude. Like I don't want to go do the work. I just want to feel better, right? Like nobody really wants to do the work. Why would we? It's work. I get it. But unfortunately, that is not always how it works. So we're trying to find a, low barrier of entry into finding things that you can add to your life, not take away. We want to add. We want in a good way. We want to feel better by having things that make us feel better, for a while, like, I was crocheting, like, everything for a while. I was going through so much freaking yarn, it was ridiculous, and I loved doing it, and it actually was really, really good for my joints and my hands. It hurt at first, and my hands told me when enough was enough, but it really helped strengthen the joints in my hands. Well, life happened, things happened, and that kind of fell to the wayside, and I don't do it anymore. So something that I loved, something that brought me joy, something that made me happy, something that I was proud of when I finished something, I no longer do. That's really sad to me. And I know that that happens to all of us, in one way or another. So we're just trying to bring back the fun. We're trying to bring back those things that make you feel better so that way, when we're mentally feeling better, maybe we can physically feel better and then we mentally and physically feel better and then maybe Sam can finally get outside on a nice day and go for a slow run because I miss it. I miss it. My body cannot do it right now. That's okay. But I want to get back to a place that can. And the only way I can do that is by doing the small steps now to support myself, to get myself into the healthiest position that I can be in to go do the damn thing. So, one of the things that we're going to start with is doing some vagus nerve stimulation, which is where, for me, this comes in. Now, like I said, we do have a partnership with Zenowell. You can get a discount by using our link or our code to go to the website and go buy something. But you know what? That's not for everybody. Maybe you have another one that you really like and you want to use that. That's awesome. Maybe it's not something that's affordable to you, and that's okay. There are other ways to stimulate your vagus nerve and to help with that outside of just using a stimulator. So in the PDF packet, in the link below, you will find some other options if you don't have a stimulator, or maybe you're not interested in using one, or maybe you want to try some non device techniques, see how that works for you to maybe test out to say, hey, I found a benefit from that. So I have a little tracker in the PDF, and we have 5 different categories. So we've got the vagus nerve stimulation, some gentle movement, daily calm, self-reflection, and connection and joy. All sounds woo-woo, but stick with me here. So for the vagus nerve stimulation, like I mentioned, we've got devices. There's some options of like meditation, humming, different types of breathing, hell, gargling, things like that can all help stimulate your vagus nerve. Or if you don't want to do all of those things or you've tried them, you can try singing or looking up on the beautiful internet to see what other options are there that might be beneficial to stimulate my vagus nerve. And you can do that too. So there's gentle movement, something like a 5 to 10-minute walk, maybe setting a timer to get up and pace around your house every, hour for 5 minutes. Maybe some yoga. Maybe you want to put on your favorite song and dance it out a little bit to your best ability. Some strength work, biking, stationary biking, walking, or choose whatever movement tickles your fancy that you can do sustainably without hurting yourself and that you enjoy. Go do that. Just if you're not supposed to do exercise, talk to your doctor first. We want to do things to help with that calm, to kind of get into a place of rest and digest, right? So maybe that's going outside and being a plant for 5 minutes and getting some photosynthesis, reducing your screen time daily. Maybe you're reading and writing instead of scrolling, that we all do. Even if the scrolling has the best memes in the world and it's really funny, sometimes it's not as helpful as we think it is, reminding myself that for later. There's some guided relaxation. Maybe you want to get up early or to go see the sunrise, maybe watch the sunset, listen to some calming music, whatever tickles your fancy and helps bring all that chaotic energy down. And one thing that I do want to stress that I think will be very helpful is self-reflection, because how do we know if something is working? You ever have those things where, like, all of a sudden you either feel better or worse, and you're like, "How did I get here?" That's where the tracking comes in. Sometimes it can be annoying or self-reflecting, whatever you wanna call it. Sometimes it can be really tedious and annoying, but it also can be very helpful. So this is where, I have a little journal that I'm gonna be writing in, and, I have tasked my husband to do this challenge with me. So I have my accountability buddy, to do this. So we'll both be using some form of self-reflection. I like to write things down. I don't know what he's gonna do, but we're going to do this every single day. Check in with your mood. How am I feeling right now? How did I feel when I woke up in the morning? Maybe you want to check in with yourself a couple times a day. Maybe it's just in the evening. Maybe you want to write an affirmation for yourself for every single day or once a week where you're like, this is the affirmation that's going to get me through the shit this week. Reflect on your wins. What's something you're proud of? What did you get through today? What did your body do today? Did you get up and make it to the couch today? That's a freaking win for you. If that is what you were able to do, congrats. I'm so glad that you were able to do that. I remember the days where I felt like that wasn't enough, and those were my days of surviving. So me getting from my bed to my couch, that was a win. Celebrate that shit. Like, just because somebody else is doing something that we deem as more, who cares? Whatever you did for you today that was hard and you're proud of it, celebrate that shit. Maybe you're like me and you have a lot of chaotic energy up here and you just want to do like a brain dump and write it all out. Do that too. And just let it all out. You don't even need to reread it at that moment. Maybe at the end of the week, get it out. Find something that works for you. And then the last thing, I think I fall victim to this a lot because I'm really busy and I've got a lot going on, and there was travel, there was this, there was that. I feel like we kind of lose connection, and we all know how isolating living with chronic illness can be. And I work from home. I don't have a lot of friends in my area. Most of my friends are you guys, in the community, and we all are here virtually. So it's like, how can we still continue to foster that connection? So maybe it is still virtually, but maybe you want to text a friend and say, "Hey, what's up? I just wanted to say hi. I was thinking of you." Or a family member, or in support groups, connecting to people and just reaching out to say, is anybody still awake right now, and just feels like chatting. If you have a pet and you want to snuggle your pet and your pet likes to snuggle with you, go snuggle your pet. I love it when my little Maisie girl purrs with me and snuggles with me. It makes me feel so much better. And she is so in tune with my needs most of the time, that she knows when I need a little extra snuggle. So that is something that I will absolutely be leaning into when she allows me. Maybe you have someone in your life that you feel is supportive and you want to, or that you're comfortable talking to. So maybe you actually want to pick up a phone instead of texting somebody, or FaceTiming or Zoom calls, whatever tickles your fancy. Maybe you want to spend some time in nature, and maybe that just means getting in your car and rolling the windows down or just sitting on your front steps or whatever it is that you're able to do. And, maybe it's a creative activity for you that brings you joy, or there are groups in your town, in your city where you are like, I've really needed a kick in the butt to go do something, right? I want to be around more people. If that's something that's safe for you to go do and you're interested in going to do it, go do it. Maybe this is your sign to go try the thing that you've been wanting to do, but we're afraid to. So, just some ideas of things to do. If you choose to participate and you want to share that you are participating, if you post something on your social media, you would have to be public for us to see it, just as a disclaimer. If you want to share your tracker, share your progress, you don't have to do it daily, but just weekly, and just say, this is what I'm doing. This is what worked. This is what didn't work. Or just share, hey, I'm doing this challenge. The more you participate, the more chances you have to win a prize at the end of the month. More information on what you get in a prize package will be forthcoming. Still working on some of the logistics there, but I promise you it's pretty cool. But yeah, I was just talking with a group of people that I'm in for a nutrition group, and we were talking about how chaotic things are. And I was like, yeah, this is why I need this right now, because I am all over the place, and I have been struggling mentally and physically, and it has not been easy. It's not easy for all of us. And the more I talk with our community, the more I see it in our support groups, we need something. We need these supportive things that we forget about. And I think it's just so easy to be like, I'll do that tomorrow. I'll do that tomorrow. I get it. I do it to myself all the time. That's why I never get anywhere, because tomorrow comes and I don't do it. So I am doing this video. I'm putting this out there because I'm holding myself accountable. I can help hold you accountable. We can chat on our socials. We can help build each other up, share some tips and tricks. Maybe something you want to do is hydrate better, because we know that hydrating is very difficult, right? So maybe that's something that you want to work on. Maybe again, you're like, I really want to get outside and be more active. Maybe this is your sign to go do that in a way that is helpful, sustainable, and safe for you. So we are excited. I am excited. This was a little bit longer of a video than I meant to. Sorry, guys. I like to talk. I hope that this is helpful, and I hope that at the end of this month, or even during the month, that you feel some of the changes and you feel better. Maybe you feel more connected with yourself. Maybe you feel a little bit stronger to advocate for yourself. Maybe you've become a little bit more self-aware and in tune with what your body is doing, because you realize, like, I'm tracking my symptoms, I'm tracking my food. Maybe that's something you've been wanting to do, and you're like, I don't want to do that. That's too much work. Maybe this is your first step into doing that, one step at a time. We don't have to go 0 to 100. We can just do 1% at a time, because 1% forward is better than no percent forward. And we're just going to keep moving, and we're going to do this together. We're going to get stronger together. We're going to de stress together, because there's always going to be stress tomorrow. There's always going to be something going on. And we need to remember that in the midst of that, there are other parts of ourselves that we need to take care of too. So I'm really excited to do this. I hope you all get excited with me. And you can comment on the video below. You can email us with questions. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're going to do this with me. And we will see you throughout the month. I will be doing check-ins to tell you how it's working for me, what I did, what worked, what didn't work, what I'm changing, what I'm not, just to hopefully, kind of get us all moving, get us all in a direction where we feel better. So I'm going to stop talking now, and hopefully you get something out of this. And we'll see you guys throughout the month, and really hope that you are able to join and do this with us. Bye.